Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be giving my review on the latest release from Nest, and this fragrance is Lychee Rose. So I want to share my thoughts with you guys. I want to share what I think about this fragrance after giving it some wear. I've had it for like 2 weeks now, I would say, maybe close to 3 weeks. So I am ready to give my thoughts on this fragrance, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts as well. So with that said, if you're interested in my thoughts on Lychee Rose, just keep on watching. So I picked up this fragrance, I would say about 3 weeks ago. I decided to go with the travel size of this one, and I received it, I sprayed it, and I have given it, I would say like 3-4 wears since I got it, and I'm ready to give my thoughts on this fragrance. I'm trying to be a little slower when it comes to giving reviews. Sometimes I get excited and I just want to hop on camera, but I feel like with fragrances, taking your time is very important because they can change up on you big time. I can smell something for the first time and just fall in love with it, and then the next few times that I wear it, it's either getting on my nerves, something smells different about it, or you could end up liking it even more. So I wanted to give it some time. So now we're going to get into this fragrance. So this was released right around the time that Kayali's sparkling, what was it called? Sparkling Lychee was released. And they were kind of being compared, and I will say they're very, very different to me. That's the first thing I will say. The Eden Sparkling Lychee is a little more fun, a little more youthful, flirty. It has a lot more youth to it. Juicy, sweet. This one I feel is more grown up. It's more sophisticated. You can definitely wear this like on a date or to go out to dinner, that type of vibe. So this one feels more grown to me. They're very different in my opinion. So I'm going to start off with the main accords for this fragrance, which are fruity, rose, sweet, and tropical. I honestly would take out the tropical from this because I don't get tropical vibes in here at all. But I do agree with fruity, rose, and sweet for sure. The notes for this fragrance are rose, raspberry, champagne, rosé, and lychee. Very, very beautiful notes. I feel like those notes together, even looking at them, look so beautiful and exciting. And I think it's really nice notes. But I am not the biggest rose person, so I do want to put that out there for this review. I am not the type of girl who loves rose fragrances. I have fragrances here and there that have rose, but rose cannot be like the main note because it can get a little cloying to me. I kind of get like bored and tired of constantly having like that rose there. This fragrance in the reminds me of section on Fragrantica is being compared to Delina Exclusive. There's also Champagne Toast, which I do not think that they smell similar. The Delina comparisons, I will say, if you are a Delina girl, you will probably really love this. So I don't think that this is a dupe for Delina because this does not have those spicy touches that Delina has. If anything, the closest one that this one would go to would be Delina La Rosé. That one I can kind of see a comparison, but I personally prefer Delina La Rosé, which is my Delina of choice, which I do have right here. Waiting maybe like another month or two, I'm gonna be taking her out because it's one of my favorite fragrances. This is perfection in a bottle. So I would say that it kind of is a little closer to that because this does have kind of like that lighthearted vibe like this one. It's not as thick, it's not spicy or anything like that like the original Delina and Delina Exclusive are. There's also a comparison to Angel Nova from Mugler, which again, I feel like it's a little heavier, it's woodier. There is like a wood in there that kind of feels like almost like patchouli smelling. So it's agar wood and benzoin in the base. So those to me are heavier. This one would be like a little bit lighter than those. To be honest, I kind of feel like this is a little cloying in my opinion. When I first got it, I was really, really enjoying it. I thought it was really beautiful. The first spray that I gave it was just like, it was so feminine, flirty. I thought of the color pink because to me, this is like a pink rose. I don't necessarily pick up a lot of lychee in here. Ooh, okay, when you first spray it, the lychee is definitely there. In the opening, it's this like the opening is beautiful. It's this mix of like the champagne fizziness, the lychee, the rose. Definitely the rose is there, and the raspberry, like the sweetness of the raspberry and little fruity touch to it. The opening is beautiful. It's intoxicating, but as it starts to dry down, the rose just starts like opening up and the rose just starts taking over. And that's kind of where it loses me. So if the lychee, which is crazy because I'm not a lychee girl and I don't usually lychee on me gets very sour, gets very tart. And the few fragrances that I've been trying, I haven't been experiencing that. So I've been really enjoying that like freshness almost that lychee gives to perfumes, that it just like uplifts them, makes them feel very bright and beautiful. But the rose starts getting very cloying to me. It starts turning into like a straight up rose fragrance. And I will say I'm not going to be getting the full size bottle of this. I think I'm just going to keep this in my collection for now to see if anything changes. But I feel like this can end up giving me a bit of a headache because the rose just gets very strong in my opinion. So if you love rose, if you're a rose girl, I feel like this is a must try because scent wise, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's that like romantic rose petals. It just makes me think of like a room filled with roses. You're like on a romantic date with your man and he got like a hotel room and put like roses everywhere and you're wearing a fragrance that smells like roses and everything is just pink and beautiful. Beautiful for like Valentine's Day as well, but it's not one that I'm going to be adding a full size of to my collection. Longevity wise, it passed the overnight test. I wore it to bed and I could smell it the next day on my PJs and I think some on my skin as well. So longevity is really good, performance is good, it projects, but it's not my favorite. And when I went to bed to wear it to bed, my husband told me the same thing. He said it was a little strong and like it's that type of fragrance that's like in your face all the time, which rose can do. Rose is like it could be a very just intense type of note where you keep smelling it and smelling it, and that's the thing with rose is it just takes over too much to me. I feel like I'm getting like smothered literally by the smell. So that's the only thing that I don't like about this, but the opening of it, perfection. It's the mix of those notes in the opening. If that lasted longer, it would be like one that I would run to get a full size bottle of. But unfortunately, the rose just comes through way too much for my liking. So that's my thoughts on this. Let me make sure I didn't leave anything out because I did write notes. Yeah, I will definitely say if you do not enjoy rose, stay away from this one because the rose is very present, at least in my to my nose. I know everyone is different, so I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you've tried this fragrance, what do you pick up more? Do you pick up the rose? Do you pick up more of the lychee? I'm very, very interested in hearing your thoughts and your reviews. So that's always very helpful in these review videos is to add your experience as well because fragrance is just very, very personal. Everyone has a different experience with fragrances, so I'm just sharing what my nose picks up, but I definitely pick up a very heavy rose. Almost, it's like a very musky rose as well. I lose that champagne touch in there. That like brightness, it kind of goes away. It only lasts just in the beginning of the fragrance, of the opening of it. And then it quickly turns into this heavy, almost musky rose that just doesn't stop like giving. Like it's just rose, 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 rose. So if you're a rose lover, for sure I recommend it. Performance is amazing. I would rate this fragrance like a 7 out of 10. Opening would be a 10 out of 10 if it was the way that the opening is, but I'll keep it at 7 out of 10. And I will recommend it to those of you who love very feminine rose fragrances. For sure, check it out. If you're not into rose, I wouldn't recommend it. So that's kind of my thoughts on the Nest Lychee Rose. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this fragrance. That's going to be it for this review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below your thoughts on the fragrance, or if you're interested in trying it out. I cannot wait to chat with you guys. And with that said, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.